Hello, I'm Julian Raw, Chief Executive of Market Echoes. My latest blog is entitled Customer Service. Do scripts and processes add value or destroy? You know, in these days of service delivery, we've become accustomed to really developing service processes in a way that we can look at a customer journey from end to end. It's becoming ever more sophisticated. And when I work with clients or students, we often spend some time doing service process analysis, looking at the journey from the customer's perspective from the very start until the very finish. We try to identify moments of truth and critical incidents, events in a service that can actually make or break the transaction. But you know, there's a little bit of a danger. And the danger is that in trying to look at every single eventuality in a service delivery, we might over-process, over-analyze, and possibly even lose sight of what a good service is all about. And a good service is all about, if you're delivering it face-to-face, being delivered by someone who looks as though they're enjoying delivering the service. Or if you're delivering it virtually, making the customer feel that that service was designed around their needs. Here in the UK, we've got a real development and growth of chain restaurants. And you know, in chain restaurants, they do everything to really improve and look after their service processes. And they want to make sure that every possible service eventuality is covered. And it's very interesting. I was at a chain restaurant in Edinburgh about 2 weeks ago. And when I went into the restaurant, I was greeted by the manager. He was very, very friendly, and he asked me, "Are you here for any special occasion or event?" We weren't, and we got shown to the table. As we were having our meal, we could listen to the manager as he greeted everybody else coming into the restaurant. And everybody was greeted with exactly the same words. "Are you here for a special occasion or event?" I was in that same chain restaurant, but in another town 2 weeks later. And you know how I was greeted when I came into the restaurant? "Hello, are you here for a special occasion or event?" Suddenly I found that that greeting wasn't really that genuine. It was just part of a script. And I was just an actor playing my part in it. I didn't feel so good about it after that. And you know, chain restaurants are very hot on service processes. And this actually includes also what they do between customers leaving the restaurant and new customers arriving. And you can actually have a look at what they do. So, when a customer leaves, they want to turn those tables round as quickly as possible. So, what happens is this. The waiting staff arrive at the empty table with their antiseptic wipes and liquids, and they start cleaning the table. But they don't clean all the rubbish off the table into a bag or into a dustbin or something like that, no. And here's the ironic thing, and here's the thing where this service process has really gone a bit mad. They actually just clear all the rubbish onto the floor or onto the chairs under the table. It probably saves them about 30 seconds. Now, if you're so inclined, next time you're in one of these restaurants, have a look at the floor underneath your table. It's likely to be full of used chips, salads, bread, and anything else that didn't make it into the last people's mouths while they were at the restaurant. Is that what service customers really want? I doubt it. But it's not just restaurants. What about retail? We all know that retailers want to sell their loyalty cards. So at the end of a transaction at a retailer, it's likely that someone's going to try and sell you their loyalty card. But after a couple of seconds, you put your hand up and say, "No, it's okay." But it's not okay for the person who's talking to you, because he or she will continue talking to you with their script for the next 60 seconds, whether you like it or not. So when you leave that retailer, are you feeling as good about it as you were when you came into that retailer and when you actually bought something? Probably not. Now, many services today are delivered virtually. And my colleague Victoria Tomlinson recently blogged about an experience she had when she'd bought flowers off an online service. The flowers were delivered on time and they were great flowers, but she was subjected to a total barrage of emails coming into her inbox. And those weren't just emails, they were gushing emails. We'd like to tell you that those flowers are now being chauffeur-driven to their destination. And when they arrived, she had an email saying, "Are your ears ringing? because your friend has just opened those flowers. Do we really want all this? Probably not. Do we want all this gushingness? Most definitely not. Do we want yet more emails clogging at our inbox? Most definitely we don't. So now as customers, we're becoming part of a bit of a robotic process, and we're just part of that robotic process. But you know, I'm starting to worry that as customers, we're actually becoming active participants in that robotic process. There's a great new wheeze on behalf of certain retailers, and I'll tell you what it is. When you've paid, they say, I'm sorry, we're not able to give you a paper receipt because we're trying as a company to save paper, but we can email you with a copy of that receipt. So, could you just give us your email address and we'll do it straight away? I never seem to be amazed or actually surprised or possibly even impressed by how many customers happily just pass on their email addresses. And you know what's going to happen? A, that retailer is going to subject them to an ever-increasing stream of emails, and B, that retailer will sell on their email address, and so they'll get even more emails from people they didn't even interact with in the first place. Is this really great service? I wonder. So what can we do about all this? Well, I've been saying for ages, what we need to do is actually speak to our customers and listen to them. Because are they going to tell us they'd like a welcome in a restaurant that's not genuine? That they'd like to eat with the whole day's food underneath their table? That they want a 60-second sales pitch every time they leave a retailer? That they want their inbox clogged up with emails they don't really need? And that they want to give away their personal information every time? No, I don't think they're going to say that. But let's not go down the route of doing some overly intense research project, because that'll just tell us anything we want to hear and give us the statistics accordingly. You know what we need to do? We need to get the chief executives of service providers to become customers. Not customers for a quick 15-minute mystery shop, but customers for 2 or 3 days, or perhaps even for a full week. Because when they've absorbed themselves in what it's like to be a customer of their organizations, they'll go back the next week to their colleagues and say, you know, I didn't quite enjoy that service delivery as much as I thought. I didn't think we were as good and as genuine as I wanted us to be. So why don't we change? At Market Echoes, we have a common sense view on service delivery and service process design. And if you'd like to find out more, please do get in touch.